Falcons fans, welcome in to episode, dude, I think we're 16 now, 17? We're 16. I think we're 16.
16.
How about that?
16.
And it's a winning episode, man. It's coming off the
Very happy.
victorious game today against the Carolina Panthers. This is episode 16 of Out of Your Falcon Mind. My name is John with my co-host, Mike. What's going on, dude?
Very happy, Mike, today. Just to come to you guys with a W. Just watched the game. We just beat Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. I'm out of my Falcon mind. How about you, Johnny Yates?
Man, I'm great, man. I'm wearing, instead of wearing a jersey, like people wear jerseys for their favorite players and whatnot.
All right.
I'm wearing the coach's polo today because they
and
showed up today.
They did. And might I add, it is if y'all watching this on YouTube, John's shirt is amazing. I mean, it's just an amazing coach's approach.
Man, it's got I just love the old Falcon, man. So it's got the old Falcon black on black with the red stripes on the sleeve. It's awesome. Yeah.
Now I happen to have since we're doing a fashion show, I happen to have on a Deion Sanders sweater. Check this out, man. How about this?
Oh, I love
Deion,
that.
Deion Christmas sweater. My favorite Falcon. Well, Matt Ryan, but
Yeah.
One of my favorite Falcons.
Right. Yeah. So, buddy, how's your last 2 days been since we did?
It's been great. The last one we did was, if y'all, even though it was the pregame show for Carolina, y'all need to go check that out. That was the most fun we had doing this podcast. A lot of nonsense, a lot of silliness on that show. Again, the game is over, but if y'all have time, go check out that again, even though this game is over.
Yeah, you can
awesome show.
Once we get to the preview part, you can always just fast forward or
and I'll be honest, most of that podcast had nothing to do with the Carolina Panthers preview, and that's probably what made it fun.
When I listened to it back, I was like, okay, this was about 45 minutes of nonsense and 30 minutes of preview.
That's exactly what it was. So you just play the 45 minutes of nonsense. We had a blast. Y'all need to go check that out. It was awesome.
It was a good time. But like we said before, man, we're not a purely a stats podcast. We want to kind of be everything, I mean, it's so that's just kind of what we're shooting for. But so everything's still good with you, man? You still girlfriended and everything?
Still, better than ever, man. Totally, totally. I don't want to say the word, but totally, this girl, like, amazing.
Going well.
Amazing experience. Yeah, doing so well.
Good. Well, I expect to meet her soon then.
Yes, you will, buddy. Trust me. Yes.
Well, getting on to a little bit of news. Let's go ahead and start this off with some sad news and then get on to good news. I'm sure everybody found out this week or heard that Demaryius Thomas passed away 2 days ago in his home in Roswell. Apparently, the man had been suffering from seizures over the last year or so and had one, and that was it. So he was 33 years old, man. He was fun to watch at Georgia Tech. He was fun to watch with Denver. I mean, he was a hell of a receiver, great dude. I heard nothing. You never heard anything bad about that guy. It was like everybody that talked to him was like, man, he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met. He's one of he's always smiling. Just it's just
and a beast,
terrible.
Tall. He was like a basketball player playing football, man. Beast,
built like Julio type build, and just
strong as ever.
Condolences to his friends and family. That was not good news. Not what you wanted to hear a few days ago. But anyway, so getting on to Falcons news. So we got the news earlier today before the game that Richie Grant and Okundeji would not be available to play, which was a little disappointing because they both guys have been playing pretty well, and both had sprained ankles coming off of the last game. So I guess
Richie Grant podcast favorite. Always sad when he's not playing.
Yeah. Then they made a switch too. I don't know if you noticed, they moved Josh Rosen to the inactive list and had Felipe Franks listed as the backup QB, which was kind of interesting there.
I didn't see.
Yeah, okay. I haven't heard why, but that was kind of weird. Just a kind of random note there. Thankfully we didn't need to see him, but
that's
strange. But yeah, so man, getting on to the game, we'll go ahead and start out and say that we all three, myself, you, and Liam, predicted that the Falcons would win this week. And Liam predicted 30 to, I believe, 17, I believe is what he said. And so he was the closest again.
And we giggled. I remember thinking, oh, he think that we gonna run good, pass good.
Oh yeah, we were like
far-fetched.
Yeah, we were like, oh, what 30?
Yeah. Because we said low scoring, and when he said 30, we thinking, okay, well, you're 11, and you think everything gonna go right for us. Guess what? Everything mostly went right for us.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
4-1. So he's 4-1. I'm 1-4. You still haven't gotten off the.
I'm like negative podcast at this point. I'm B4 podcast. BP,
No. You are.
No, I won one. I did got one. I got one. It was spot on.
Score. Yeah,
right. I got the exact score one time. I got one.
Yeah.
I forgot who that was against.
It was
maybe the Jaguars.
Was the Jaguars? Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
It was.
I got one.
Yep. And spot on. You should get an extra point for that because you called it.
Yes. Spot on. Yeah.
So going into it though, I mean, we were pretty confident, and we were confident we were going to win. That first drive that the Panthers scored on, and Cam doing his thing, I was a little concerned, like, oh crap, here we go. He's going to start running.
He came out hot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And luckily, I mean, the new old Cam showed up, and
the old Cam literally showed up. The old man showed up.
Yeah, I mean. Early in the game, man, saw AJ play. Dude, look, man, AJ. I know he gave.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I know where you're going with this. Come on.
I know he gave up a touchdown later in the game to Anderson, but dude, the pass breakup he had early in the game, freaking lit dude up, knocked the ball out, and then then picks the ball that we'll get to that later. That just hung up in the air forever. The PJ Walker threw, and then
almost picked another one.
Just played great. Dude, just letting the dude kind of just run into him almost like he wasn't touching him or anything. Just he read the play. That dude might be an all pro, not just Pro Bowl. He might make the all pro team this year, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, you can argue. I'm not saying he is. You can argue he's the best cornerback in the league this year. He's having the best season. You can. That is, statistics don't lie, man. He is ball. And again, I think it was Jonathan Vilma calling our game. He just kept saying he's a tactician, and I noticed when you're undersized like that, he can out jump nobody. He can out brute strength anybody. He's not faster than the receiver is. The man knows just how to tackle and where to put his hands and where the placement he should be, the position. Tactician. That dude is in second year. Imagine 4 or 5 years in. He just getting started.
That's what's crazy is, I mean, like we talked about last week when we said I think you asked the biggest, not last week, a few days ago, you asked the biggest surprise of the season was his, and we said, we both agreed it was just the steps he took from last year. I mean, like he was, good rookie season, but damn, dude, like the jump he took to a second year
was crazy.
And it's going to be fun watching. I mean, I'm so glad he's on our team. We're going to have fun watching that dude for the next 10, 15 years. I mean,
did he play college with Trevor Lawrence at the same time? Was him?
Yeah, he was.
They on the same team at the same time?
Yes.
Oh, that was okay.
Yeah, AJ was maybe a year or two older.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, man, like I said, I'm really happy that he's on the squad. And dude, what a week for Michael Walker, man. He has his first child 5 days ago, and
what he did, man, was amazing.
Read the play perfectly, jumped the pass.
And
what a call by dude! What a call by Dean Pease. I mean, to set it up just to kind of, he had like you said, like Vilma said after the play, he Cam wasn't even thinking about him because he was off to the left, but he was just spying the underneath route because he knew that's where they were going to try to go. Man, he jumped it and then just took off, man.
It took off,
and and that was fun. That was great.
I'm gonna tell you what I was happy about that play. He wasn't happy with the intercept. He didn't try to run out of bounds or just. That man he was going for 7. You know, it was awesome.
You remember, and he got his first, I guess his most playing time he's gotten was against the Jaguars a few weeks ago. And we said, I think our comments was like, it was good to see him in there. He's young and he had a lot of energy, but he didn't, he didn't exactly do great. He made some tackles, but like it seems like
he was overzealous.
Yeah, and it seems like today, and I mean, and dude, I don't know. I guess maybe it's just the Panthers and what that brings out in Dion, but Dion, man, laying the wood.
Oh man,
so awesome.
I mean, he hit PJ Walker one time that he was sharing it, man. It was like a penalty, but he rocked him and he was tearing Cam. I thought John just said on the last show, his moment that that sticks in his head was when Dion hit Cam on the goal line. And he bruised Cam like 2-3 times a day. All I could think about was John just said this. Like it brought something out of Dion.
Yeah. And I mean, I wish he had, hindsight, I don't know if he was maybe surprised he got such a free run on PJ Walker, because he could have just took him out with a clean hit without having to even, I think he might have just been surprised, like, oh shit, I'm already here, and then it just happened to helmet his face mask, hit his face mask. So, but yeah, man, I mean, overall, I mean, like I said, reason wearing this coach's shirt, man, because offensively, I didn't see anything. I was just like, why did you do that? I didn't say that very often during the game, if at all. And then defensively, man, we were dialing up pressures. We were getting pressure. We were making hits. I mean, we're still not getting any rush with 4 guys, which is, we already know that. But I mean, if we can effectively blitz someone and still cover, man, I mean, like, we might have a chance. I mean, like, that was because, I mean,
that was pretty good, man. I'm a fan of Dean Pease, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I am a fan, bro.
Well, you remember, you remember that defense he had at Baltimore, that won that all. I mean, like, that was a hard-nosed, like, come at your ass type defense. Now, we don't have the same players they did, but I think that's what he's trying to instill in them, that attitude and get that, that type of just fierceness in them. Because, man, if they get that and they progress into the 3rd year, like, like they've done this year, and we add a few pieces, get an edge rusher. What I'm saying. Yeah. And I mean, man, I mean, we've
again, man, I saw them today, and all I could was like, man, next year I think will be good.
Yeah.
I was saying that today. I was thinking, like, man, if y'all can keep doing this, like, and I know it was Carolina. Believe me, y'all, I'm not getting too excited, but I'm just saying that I saw Grady beast, and I saw Dion beast, and I saw AJ was beasting. Again, man, Michael Walker came through.
Yeah, like you said, we have to temper it a little bit, because I think, what did they say on the broadcast? It was the 9th different rotation or whatever the offensive line for the Panthers this year. I mean, they've had more woes than we've had.
They would look, man. That's all I could think about was their offensive line looked worse than ours, and that's hard to say.
Yeah,
that's it's hard to be like uglier than Flavor Flav, but they did it,
But, some of the plays we made, I mean, big 3rd down conversions. I mean, we had that screen play to Davis on 3rd down where, I mean, Matt was
great play call
from getting sacked, and he got it off. That was huge. And then we got in the red zone just before, I think, half, and they pretty much sold out on a blitz, and Matt, nowhere to go, and we had to settle for a field goal. One guy that showed out today that's been on the practice squad, John Kaminski, was in the backfield a couple of times. And coming off the edge. And I know Dean Pease had said in the previous weeks that they'd been trying to find like a place that he kind of fits the best. And that outside linebacker might be a spot for him. He's young too, but I mean, that might be a spot for him, because he looked like one of those like high motor type dudes, you know what I mean?
No.
So,
man, I'm gonna be honest. I said this like 2 podcasts ago, because we're not really winning this season and we're struggling so bad. It's greatly benefiting the coaches, because you get to almost have a practice season. I'm gonna put him here and see what happens. I'm gonna switch him here and see what happens. I'm gonna put him, see if he could play both positions. And if we had to win games, you don't really have that flexibility. If we, but now they can kind of. I got a good feeling about next year, because I think if we I want Dean Pease stay. Let's keep Arthur Smith. I want just add some pieces, like you said.
Yeah.
Have the players there, just get better. I'm excited about next season. Just the little glimpses they showed today.
Right, and I mean, Kaminski played today just got out of necessity, because AJ not playing, and so he was forced into the role. But I mean, I'm gonna tell
you who showed up today a few times. I was digging was Keith Smith.
Yeah,
the boy, I was looking like, come on, he had an attitude with him like today. I was like, what is going on with you? Like, what did they do to y'all? Like, Keith Smith was balling today. Shout out to you, buddy.
Yeah. Then the pressure we got, and then that's the reason we got that one pick. The AJ got that pick was the pressure we put on. And I don't know what the hell PJ Walker was thinking throwing the ball like that.
He's very bad.
Thank you for doing that. But he was under crazy pressure. He just lofts it up in the air. And a defensive lineman would have had time to run down there and get under it. But AJ happened to be there, catch it. And that was a big turn. That was really the story of the game for us, was turnovers. We won the game on turnovers. You look at the actual team stats, and they're not that different. I mean, to be honest, I mean, they had, we were very close on total number of plays. The offenses are only a few yards difference as far as total yards. We had 318, they had 334. We held the ball almost 10 minutes longer than they did. And again, that's attributing to taking the ball away 3 times. I mean, and we said on the pregame, you got to run the ball again to be successful, because we got 34 yards the first time against Carolina. Not today.
We ran it. Yes, we did.
Yep. We had
3 straight games.
3 straight games over 100. That's the first time since 2018 that we've done that.
That says the Falcons running 3 straight games, 100 yards rushing. That is awesome.
Yep, 128. And the biggest was we had 36 attempts. We ran a lot, 36 attempts, and we spread it out between Cordell and Mike Davis and Ollison. And all 3 ran the ball well.
No, they did. And again, I'll tell you why that's helpful, y'all. When your line is struggling in pass block, they cannot pin back on Matt Ryan. You don't know it's going to be a pass when you rush 36 times. You got to hesitate.
Yep. And Matt threw the ball 19 times for 190 yards. He just had, we'll get to that in a second, but he had he had a so-so day. It wasn't, it still wasn't the Matt that we want to see. But it was what it was. On the other side of the ball, for the Panthers at least, I mean, they had a rough day all around. I mean, Cam got benched 2 different times.
Yeah,
and, I mean, it just makes me so happy to. I mean, like,
I thought the same. Just to see him on the sideline, it warmed my heart.
Like, dude, every first down, you doing the first down sign and doing like it just. I mean, I know every player. He just gets
I tweeted this. I'm gonna tell you why I live tweeted during the game, and I said this. The dude is. I don't like the dude. I remember one game we played, and I know you know what I'm talking about, John. He was beating us one time. And during the game, we're on the field now on offense, and Cam Newton and his offense, he went and got a selfie stick during that football game. The game was being played, and him in the offense, he held the selfie stick, and they was on the sideline dancing, and it was like carrying on and had a selfie stick. And I thought, man, you have and then all right. And they say, well, he's just having fun. He's enjoying the game. He's like Brett Favre. No, because when you lose, you handle it like a sucker. So if you going to be that way when you winning and you flying around, you doing the Superman and you taking selfies during the game, I want you to be that same way when you lose and have class and dignity when you lose. And that's not him. And like John said, every time first down, you got to do a dance on it. Man, you washed up. So you need to do everything with some humbleness in your spirit and not be doing dances when you get a 3-yard run.
Why you think guys don't try to light you up? Why you think Deion's coming at you like that?
You always do something extra. You always got to do something extra. Like with the hats, you dress extra. You got to say something extra. The dude is annoying, man. That's why I said, when you on the turf, take a selfie from the turf.
Exactly. He was 15 for 23 today, 178 yards with a 70 rating, and PJ Walker was 6 for 12, 75 yards with a 63 rating. So yeah, not great days about them. But Cam was their leading rusher. He ran for 47 yards, which mostly in the first half. Second half was just really blah for them. But yeah, I mean, defensively, they didn't really. I mean, I don't think they had 7 QB hits, which is about par for the course. Yeah. But I mean, dude, I'll give props. I'm not gonna be negative today, because I mean they've been run blocking really good. Well, and like they kept saying in the broadcast, to the left side, man. But Mayfield and Matthews, man, like they're run blocking their asses off. When it gets to the passing, Mayfield still has a lot of work on. But man, I mean, like Vilma said, just keep running to the left, man. Like, why would you even running? I mean, until they move somebody over there.
Yeah, man, I never forget. He said, we were in the red zone and we had some time, and Vilma said, I would run the ball to the left 3 straight times and just make them prove they can. And I was in full agreement. Like, we still scored, but I got what he was saying. Like, they cannot stop that.
Yeah, and then we came out of halftime, and I hate it. Like, there's 2 things I hate, that really just like drives me crazy in football. One being the blocking the back penalty. Like to me,
Yes.
that's the dumbest
Yeah.
damn thing you can do in football.
Well,
If
yes.
you see the man's name, don't touch him. Just don't touch him. Like you're going to get called on it. Don't touch it.
So
that drives me nuts. And then the second one is kicking the damn ball out of bounds on the kickoff.
Yeah.
And that's what we did to start off second half. And then we give them a short field right there on the 40-yard line. And they take advantage of it. They go right down and score. So, that gave them some life. They put them up at 17-14. And then, buddy, like I said, you know what? No, let's just go ahead and talk about it. So Sharp got himself wide the hell open.
Yes.
And Matt threw a pass that was the biggest underthrow I think I might have ever seen in professional football.
Not only that I have in my notes. That's how I could tell that was a play. I have that exact play in my notes. Like I put an asterisk, it's in a square with all these check marks beside it because I thought that was a horrific pass. And that wasn't like where he was pressured under duress and he had to that was a poor pass he threw. That was no excuse. Then the flea flicker.
What was that?
What was the man? I'm gonna tell you something. I mean this. I saw Cam Newton and I thought to myself, like, damn, I remember when it was a young Cam Newton when he was a bit better than this. And it was kind of sad to see, okay, you can still play, but you are on the decline. And I was kind of laughing and making, that's what he get. I hate this dude anyway.
Yeah.
And then I'm seeing Matt Ryan play and I'm asking myself, am I so biased I can't see this in him, in his arm?
Right.
Because I'm thinking like, I don't know if I'm so in love with the dude that I'm not being real. Because some of those passes, man, it's like you didn't have the arm to complete the it was some bombs he threw. It was some bombs he threw. But again, the dude has to wait. Like the dude, he can't. It's never in stride. Oh, I beat the man. I get it. I'm good. Every time he throw deep, the dude got to sit there for 2 to 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Until you get the ball there, and I'm just like, man, it looked like a linguini arm. It looked like a weaker arm. It looked like a shot arm. It looked like a not accurate arm. I never thought I would say this about. I can't tell if he just took a beating so much this year. It's like his chest and his back, everything is hurting. So you can't put it on the ball like you should be able to.
Yeah.
Or I can't tell if his skills are declining, but it's sad that, man, some of those, Matt Ryan is not looking good lately, man.
Yeah, I mean, the best throw he had all day was probably the one to Gage that he had to dive for. That's the only one he actually led, had it out, got it out.
When he led,
I mean, Sharp, man, he had to literally stop.
Yes.
Like just stop and sit there and chill and then like try to come back and get it. And I mean, man, and like you said, like even some of the out throws, they just seem like they're taking longer to get there. Like I'm expecting more zip to come out.
And then zip.
And it's just like, So like you said, I don't know if it's the beating he's taking and like maybe he's hurting or maybe his skills are declining. I mean, like it's very possible. It's not like it's out of the question.
Yeah, it's very possible. And I'm gonna tell you, even the thing that took a lot for me to say that on the podcast. I stared at that note and I was like, man, I can't. Like this. All right, OJ, did what he did. Okay, man, my blackness won't allow me to ever say that he did it. Okay, I can't say it. Okay, all right. And the thing is, my maddiness just won't allow me to say certain things about Matt Ryan. I love Matt Ryan. I'm thinking, I gotta be honest though, man. Like John said, just some of them balls, no zip. It's like, where's your arm? Like where does the dude open and gotta wait for 3 seconds? So where he could have had just a touchdown going away, now it's contested by 2 people because of your arm.
Yeah.
I'm not in a flea flicker, man. We had the whole defense fooled, and then he just threw a duck. And I'm like, man, Matt Ryan is I can't say that all his struggles are from pressure, man.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I mean, there was a chart that they posted this last week about like quarterback ratings while given a clean pocket. Matt was like halfway down the list or more in that, which is not exactly what I didn't think that it would be. I figured like, okay, like you said, maybe it's just our mattiness that we're not see it. But apparently, maybe I'll find that chart. We'll talk about it on the next show. Apparently he's like halfway down the list of when given a clean pocket. And part of that's also who he's throwing to. I mean, like,
Oh no, yeah, you have no weapon.
I mean, like, it's different, but still, I mean, if he's going to be that guy, like, we kind of need him to be a little better, you know.
Yes.
But yeah, my note on that one, that third to Sharp was, what the fuck is that throw?
Yeah, see,
that was my
see
note.
what I'm saying? Yes, yes.
Yeah, and so we ended up having to settle for another field goal on that drive and made it 20-14. And then Cam, man, again, gifting us with that little fumble, trying to give it off. Right, he still tried to hand it off, and we getting Grady jumped on top of it, and then he just laid on the turf, which was so fun to watch. I mean, that made me.
It was. Made me and he knew he messed up.
Yep. And then we had a hold on the very first play after that turnover, which is always what you want to see. And then a huge throw to Pitts on third down, just to keep the drive moving. And then we just kept running the ball with success, man. We had, you know, the call that they made for the touchdown was fantastic. Little play action. That was perfect. I mean, you watch the replay, the entire Panther defense was up the middle.
Pros, yeah.
And then Hurst was over to the side, just chilling. So that was awesome. And then the 2-point, I tweeted this out too. With all the attention on QBs these days and trying to protect them, how the hell do you miss Matt getting his face ripped off on that 2-point conversion? There's got to be one zebra out there watching the quarterback, right?
Yes.
Like, how the hell
it was obvious. It ain't like it was slick or it was under. It was obvious, and he even pointed up at the jumbotron, like, look.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And they just my hate. It blew my mind.
Yeah. And I mean, luckily it didn't come back to bite us, but you can't miss it like that, you know. And then I mean, I guess we did get it back because on the very next drive, Dion.
I did see that.
They did not call that.
Yeah.
And then on that same drive for the Panthers, man, a Dante Fowler sighting twice.
I said blew my mind. I said bucket list is I saw Dante Fowler do something on the field. I could check something off my bucket list. Twice on one drive, blew my mind.
And then he freaking hurt his calf somehow, and he was questionable. I was there to return. I was like, you got to be kidding me, man.
Yeah, figures.
Yeah, just can't have it all.
Yeah.
But we ate some time off the clock, a little bit of time by getting that one first down, you know, and then we ended up on our very next drive. I mean, we ate some time off the clock and ended up getting a 48-yard field goal by Koo, made it 29-14. PJ Walker came back in and immediately fumbled the ball, and which was, you know, we didn't get it, but you know, it was just I don't know. He wanted to kind of hand it off to, I think it was Chuba or somebody, and he just dropped it on the floor. So we get the ball back, and Austin did the one thing you cannot do when you're trying to close a game down, and I don't know what, dude, he was carrying that ball like he was just, I don't know, fumbles the ball, gives it away, and, you know, they give Carolina a little bit of life. They drive right down, makes them look like we were playing a very soft zone because those guys were wide the hell open.
Yeah, I hate when they do that.
Me too.
It just get under my skin. Yeah.
So they ended up scoring on that, and that was the play that they scored on AJ with the TD to Anderson. But so 29-21. And then we get the ball back, and I'd be damned if we don't get a holding call in the first play again. Set us back first.
Yeah. Yep.
And I was like, man, here we go. It's just like, I mean, as soon as Austin fumbled, I'm like, literally, man, we cannot just
what are we doing?
Close a damn game. Like, we can't make it easy. We just, I mean, we had it in control, you know. But so anyway, 1st and 20. And then we had 2 runs by Mike, and then just an amazing play call that brought Pitts across the line, across the face of the defense, shot out to the left, nobody even around him. And that pretty much iced the game right there, was getting that first down, because then we could just run and then use up their timeouts and call it a day. So that was, I mean, barring the fumble, I mean, that would have been, even with the fumble, that was, to me, the best game that we've played all year long on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, clearly. And no, it really was. I'm gonna tell you a stat that blew my mind. They said, I didn't even realize this until I heard it on the broadcast. They said we haven't won at home all year.
Yeah, our only home win was in London.
Yes, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You do not. We have the best stadium in the NFL. Don't have them people paying all that money to go to that game, and then you never win at home. But that's not a good experience.
Yeah, no, we agreed.
And 2, something else I heard, I blew my mind. Marlon Davidson is the only player in NFL history whose first sack and first interception was on Mr. Tom Brady.
Isn't that crazy?
You know, so we never beat Tom Brady, so that's shameful, but we can take some pride in Marlon Davidson. He's historic, man. He made history.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, after the game, Matt said, and this is per Tori McElhaney on Twitter, I still think there's more consistency for us. I still think that there are our best footballs ahead of us. He said he can tell the offense is improving, but we are still too many moments that could be considered a missed opportunity. Yeah, it's for sure. I mean, and I think, unfortunately for him, a lot of it's not a lot of it, but a good portion was on him.
Yeah. Him, yes.
I mean, yeah, you're missing opportunity for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
And then a funny note on the same thing, it said Kelly Price asked Mike Davis what the difference in the run game was, and he said, besides Art cussing us out.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I mean, apparently, Arthur getting on him a little bit, which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you got to have. But overall, it looked like, reading all the comments from the press conferences after the game, it seems that Arthur was very pleased with the physicality that both offensive and defensive lines showed today. And you could tell, it showed up on the screen. You could tell.
Like I said, man, they you saw different players that you say, damn, this dude, he got something with him today. It was like an extra thing. Like I said, for me to Keith Smith and Deion Jones and Mike Davis, they was a little more amped today. Even like AJ Terrell and Grady Jarrett, everybody was a little more amped today. And I believe that our team feel the same way I feel about Cam. Like, man, you just an asshole. Like, so I don't want you, because I know if you win, you're gonna dance and celebrate and you're gonna Superman I'm not having you do that.
No, totally agreed. Yeah. And I mean, just to see that, their energy and Grady he always brings it, but to see the younger guys come in there and dude, the hit that who was it that put the hit on Anderson across the middle? Was it Hall or Duron?
Laid him out. It was I think that was Hall to hit. I think it was Hall, didn't it? No, it was Hallman.
It's either Hall or
I don't know.
Yeah.
Man, they laid him out. Yeah. Laid him out. Yep. I love it. It's just like, it's like it was just fury in them today, and you rarely see that from Atlanta. So I enjoyed today's game. I just it's bothering me with Matt Ryan, man. That's my favorite player. I don't know what I'm looking at. And
it's bugging me too. Yeah, I saw several tweets that said that definitely don't extend him and everything. And I don't know that's unless I'm totally wrong. I know he's owed what we talked about in the salary cap show we did. I think $40 million next year. So you could theoretically extend him to get the salary down and still end up trading him at some point. That's not, so I don't think, I'm not going to say at this point in time, yes, I think he'll be our quarterback 2 years from now because I don't, what we've seen this year, I don't know, man.
And I'm going to tell you, I started off, how many times y'all heard me say on this podcast, you cannot watch the game of an Atlanta Falcon game and blame Matt Ryan. When y'all doing that, I'm not in agreement. You cannot watch Atlanta play and say that was if it just wasn't for him. The last 3 games, man, I'm saying that you did contribute to us to some mistakes that were totally your doing. It was nobody else doing. Yeah, and I'm like, man, that's so hard for me to do. I feel like I'm throwing my brother under the bus or something like that. That's hard for me to say, but my eyes are my eyes. I didn't see incorrectly today. Y'all saw what I saw.
Yeah, exactly. And
James, hold on, John. James from last week.
Yep.
I'm getting there, buddy.
That's right.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm fair.
Yeah, if y'all didn't hear last week,
the preview show. Y'all gotta see the preview show.
We had an email from a listener basically asked Mike, what would it take for him to say, okay, we got to move on from Mac, because he apparently he listened to quite a bit to our show and he knew that Mike loves him unconditionally, and and there wasn't, he wanted to know what it was going to take, and Mike was very honest with it, and it's just like you said, we're not so blind that we love him so much. We're going to root for our team over any player, period.
Yes,
so
right.
As much as we want him to succeed, we want our team to succeed
more. More.
So, I mean, and if he's not going to be part of that succeeding, then we're going to have to,
We
make a
gotta
change
move.
there.
And here's such a cool dude. Matt Ryan might be my favorite NFL player forever to somebody else come along. So by all means, he can come chill at my house and drink a beer and talk trash. But Matt Ryan, I would love him to be part of the organization in some way, shape, or form. Always, forever. He's the greatest quarterback we ever. He's the greatest Falcon ever. But the bottom line is, man, when you're contributing to losses or struggles, I gotta start looking at you different. And I'm not quite doing that yet, but I am noticing that even when Matt Ryan get a clean pocket, his arm strength and the zip on the ball is not getting where that ball need to go. Yeah. He's not doing anything dumb, but man, just like every game, the person gotta wait. Matt Ryan can't throw the deep ball no more. Like he can't. It's like Drew Brees got to a point where he couldn't throw deep. He had to be intermediate.
Well, the timing's got to be there, right? So if your arm is not as strong as it has been, like you've got to get rid of the damn ball and get the time to get under it, and like that's the only.
You can't do that with the young player. So I kind of want to give him a pass, but some of those plays I can't give you a pass, man. It just was a poor throw. That flea flicker throw, I could have did that.
Yeah, I know.
The whole defense was fooled, and then you threw a duck.
Yeah, I know. And it's just, you watch, like, for instance, I mean, I was watching a few weeks ago, just watching Alabama. No, this is college, but like even watching like Bryce Young throw, like it's just, and granted, he's 15 years younger, but like, or just insert younger QB with better arm. You know what I mean? Like,
Murray.
Yeah, just
when
watching.
You see somebody can take it. It's just
different. It's just different. And that's the only thing, man. And like you said, and like we said hundreds of times on the show, like he's not the reason, but if you're shoring up your offensive line and you're getting protection, then you're going to expect more. And he's not today. He wasn't under. I mean, he got hit 7 times. 2 sacks, but it wasn't. That was one of the better performances that we've seen. Like it's not like he was just running for his life all day. That wasn't the case. So I don't know. Maybe he's going through a rough patch. I mean, it can happen. Everybody's
man. I got faith in you, man. I always believe in you, man. I got faith in you, buddy.
Yeah, and watching. I don't know if you saw any of the Heisman Trophy presentation.
No,
it wasn't a shocker. Bryce Young won it last night. It was him. CJ Stroud from Ohio State, who's another freshman quarterback at that. Aiden Hutchinson, there's a video online that's him just blowing up the offensive tackle for Ohio State. Yeah. I mean, and I retweeted it and said, wouldn't mind seeing this dude, on our squad, and one of our followers hit me back and was like, man, he's like, that's. Was RBF at Born Again Bantam on Twitter. He said, awful technique from the tackle, slow into his stance, doesn't pop with his hands, doesn't get low enough. 100% correct. The guy had like no leverage whatsoever. He stood up tall, but dude, watch it, man. He flings him on his ass, just backwards on his ass. And
so I got to ask you this, man.
Yeah.
I saw, I've been hearing everybody's talking about Georgia State. I saw it's billboards of this dude on the highway, Georgia State, Jordan Davis.
Oh, Georgia, UGA. Yeah.
Georgia. Georgia. I mean, is he that good or is he just big?
He's huge.
I know he's huge, but is he good or is he just huge?
No, he's good. He's very good. Like he when he's on the field, like he's occupying 2 guys, like guaranteed.
Oh man, we might.
Yeah, I mean, like he's a monster. Now, here's the only issue. Here's my only concern is he's not on the field enough because he's so big. Like you could tell, and when they played Alabama, you could tell that Nick Saban was trying to run plays to keep him on the field. When he was on the field, they wanted him to stay on the field.
I got you
because he's out of gas after a couple of plays.
2 plays.
He's got to get a breather and get back in there. That being said, him next to Grady, who's a little, who's more of just a bull rush and technique, and like, if you got somebody like Jordan Davis who you've got to occupy with at least 2,
you got to,
then I mean maybe. I'm not going to be mad if we draft a guy like that. Well, if in particular him, I still would rather see like an edge rusher. Maybe go first, like you said, like if Aiden Hutchinson's there. I don't know. He definitely helped his draft stock. We'll see what he does in the game against Georgia, which would be a big challenge for him. And then if they happen to win and go on and play Alabama, or Cincinnati. I'm not saying that Alabama's not going to, possibly lose to Cincinnati, but the chances are.
Ask you this.
Yeah.
Does this ever happen? Because I don't know how they do conferences and college football. I don't know if this is even possible. But does Georgia ever play Georgia State?
No. If they did, it would be Georgia, because Georgia State just started playing football 10 years ago or whatever. I mean, yeah. Then so Georgia State, they're in the Sun Belt Conference. So if they play a team like Georgia or Alabama, it's like their homecoming, and they're getting $800,000 to do it. I mean, the talent levels are still,
So it's not equal yet. It would be
no. It'd be an ass.
It would be
yeah. Georgia State played Alabama. Now, granted, Georgia State has definitely gotten better under their new coach. I should say new coach. I think he's been there 3 years. Sean Elliott. They've gotten a lot better actually. But yeah, they played Alabama some years ago, and they scored 7, and it was 63-7. I mean,
See, I'm just thinking the stadium. If you put Georgia and Georgia State in the same stadium, I think that would be electric, for the fans. Everybody there together.
Yeah. I mean, Tech and Georgia, they have I guess
Georgia
you could
say
rivalry. Okay. But dude, I mean, this year Tech was terrible this year, and when they played them at Georgia Tech, and probably 75-80% of that stadium was Georgia fans.
Oh,
yeah.
Georgia Tech has an awesome stadium, but the school seem like nerds. There's no cool happenings going on in that school. I'm surprised they got a football team. Seriously, it don't seem
it's like any other very academic school.
It's like Emory, having a football team.
Yeah, I mean, there's some schools that will bend on their academics to get players in. Tech doesn't really do that. I mean, and it's a tough school, man. It's a very tough school, academically. So you've got to have. I mean, that's no excuse. I mean, they shared the national championship, I think, in 1990 with Notre Dame. So I mean, they've won. They've been successful there. It's not like you cannot be successful there. I mean, Stanford always has a pretty good team. They're a very, very, very highly academic school. So, it's possible. It's just that you've got to find the right guy who can recruit and coach. And I mean, Tech's got their coach now, Jeff Collins. He reminds me a lot of Dan Quinn. He's very high, very, very big on terms and motivation and culture and stuff like that. But it doesn't look like he can coach it worth a shit so far. He's been there. It's just
that's Dan Quinn.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, we've got a few friends. I got a good friend. His son goes there. He's a freshman, and so it's. And I got a really good friend who went there and graduated, and a couple other friends that went there. And I mean, they love their time there. Great school. It's just not, like I said, they have some problems sometimes. Especially keeping up with Georgia. That's tough. But yeah, I mean, looking, like I said, getting back to the Falcons. I mean, and depending on which way they go in the draft, or I mean, and then this is pure speculation by me because I have no other, nobody has said this but I was just thinking to myself, what teams might want Matt, you know what I mean? And
San Francisco,
that's one. And then a couple came to mind. Well, Matt's a Philly kid. He's from Philadelphia. And so Philly hasn't had a whole lot of luck with Jalen Hurts. He's had his opportunity. I don't know that he's going to be the guy. Of course, Gardner Minshew's in there now, and he had a great first game, but we don't know if he's going to be. Yeah, he's hilarious. I love him too. Don't know if he's going to be for real the deal or not.
Yeah, right.
But so maybe possibly there, and maybe even Big Ben's done after this year. Maybe Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Maybe Pittsburgh.
No, that's
Yep. So I don't know. That's like I said. That's if there was to be a trade, and like I said, there's a lot of things that would have to happen before that would even be a possibility. But that'd be kind of down the road type of thing. But I mean, like we keep saying, and we've said it now for 5 weeks, we keep waiting for the Matt that we saw a few games earlier in the season to come back. We still need him to come back because he wasn't there today either.
And I will say this, even if you getting punished, he's the most hit quarterback. He's been hit about 90, it's almost 100 right times so far this season. He's leading the NFL in quarterback hits. Even when you take that beating, even when you're getting blocking, your brain is damaged at that point. And I don't mean like his brain damage. I mean, you like his psyche is damaged. In your mind, you still don't have time, even when they blocking. Like you panic, you're on a permanent panic. Yeah. So even when you got time, you think, oh God, I gotta get rid of it. I gotta get rid of it. And you forcing throws. And it may be that, it may be just the fact that he probably could hear this and say, I know y'all are not criticizing me with the worst line in the NFL, and my top target is Russell Gage.
Right.
Like you cannot be judging me about, which you got a point, but I'm just saying, Matt, I never even had a criticism of you before. So this is a weird space for me to even, again, man, my mattiness just won't allow me to say certain things, but I'm getting closer every week to saying certain things. Matt, come on, man. I love you. I love your kids. I love your wife. You're my favorite player. Don't do this to me, man. Don't do this to me. I'll cry. I don't want to see you in a damn Steelers uniform or nobody else. I want you to play one more year with us, train whoever we getting, then walk off gracefully and be rich and be a commentator and be just the same way Troy Aikman is. Right. That's your thing, man. Don't want to see you be a backup quarterback in this league. I don't want to see you. I don't want the whole state to be calling for your head and be happy that you left. I don't want you to leave Georgia with the whole state saying, thank God. Oh my God. Come on, Matt. You can do better than this. Personally, individually, you can do better. Come on, man.
And I don't want to see you cry on this podcast. So I don't want that.
And I might, and I will. If Matt Ryan leaves, man, that is my favorite play. I love Matt Ryan. This is Matt. Come on, man.
Yeah. And I mean, and to his
have a violin playing in the background of the podcast.
Man, and you know what? I mean,
with the Jordan meme.
The crime face.
Yeah.
Thank God our running game has stepped it up the last 3 weeks though, because his woes and his misses would have been even more amplified.
Yes.
Had we not, won 2 out of those 3 games, number one, and if but like he said as well in the run in the press conferences, I mean, the run game is, and we've said it too. I mean, it's just, and if you know football at all, it's just if you can run the ball successfully, it opens up your entire playbook. And and like you said, I mean, if it's 3rd and long, like I don't know why any team would not blitz or bring 7 guys on us on 3rd and long every time. Because I mean, earlier in the game when we were in the red zone and they did that, and Matt had literally just had to throw it. I mean, in the free kick, he had nothing. I mean, like, because that's the thing too, like you said, his psyche. I mean, if it's 3rd and long and he's looking across the line and he sees guys creeping up, he knows what's coming.
He got a second. He got 1 second, literally.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
one of them plays. Did you see the play where he called hike and it was he just started running for his life? As soon as he called hike, he just backpedaled.
Yeah.
Like he didn't even try to throw. He called hike and just did like this, like I'm not. I already know what's happening. He didn't even go through progressions. He called hike and just ran away and threw it. I said, he was.
Yeah.
He don't want to get hit no more. He is older, man. Matt Ryan don't like to take them hits, man, and he shouldn't have to. He's Matty Ice.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, overall, man, like I said, I was happy with the play calling on both sides. Really impressed with the defensive play calling. Young guys stepping up. Young guys keep making steps forward, and they've got to keep. They have to keep making those strides every week. I mean, the playbook's going to get not easier, but it's going to come more easy to them the more they're around it, the more they're in it. So it's good to see some of the young guys, like I said, like Michael Walker, getting the playing time, and hopefully.
I hope he got that ball for his son. I don't know if he had a son or daughter. Did he have a son or daughter? It didn't say that. It just said child.
I think it was his son. Yeah,
son.
So. Yeah,
man, you gotta hope he grabbed that ball for us. Imagine telling your son the week you was born, I got a pick 6.
It was just it was just awesome. It was just a good feeling during the game to actually be like having fun and like not sitting there going, what the hell, man? Like, it was just there was no
frustration. It was like, okay, yes.
Like, literally the only thing, was a few plays. It was like, and then of course Allison fumbling, which at the end of the game, which that like I said, that could have went bad. But hopefully, like I said, we've got San Francisco next week, speaking of the 49ers. So in San Francisco,
I'm gonna tell you
no.
something. If I had my guess of who would go all, I just think that despite who they drafted, I think that dude has had his success with Matt Ryan. You know, like match. So he thinking like, man, if I could just get him for 1-2 more years, I probably could do the same thing. I think he's had his success with Matt Ryan. So I think he would go the hardest to try to get him again. So I don't want to see him in it wouldn't shock me.
No,
and it would shock me if he went over there and played better.
Yeah.
Brady, I thought, was losing it. But before he went to Tampa, I said, man, he was gonna zip his arm then he went to Tampa and he looked just like Brady beforehand. So I could have been wrong. But I would say this.
I mean, he's not human. He's aging in reverse.
Yeah, he's aging in reverse. He's Benjamin Button. But I'm gonna tell you what I thought was cool about man, what I kind of hope is there for next season. John Elway and Peyton Manning were great quarterbacks. Y'all gotta go see John Elway. That was my favorite before Matt Ryan. John Elway was an animal. But
just a
yes, I mean John Elway was a football player. He'll jump over the top. John Elway was tough, man. John Elway, a different dude. And he's a great executive. Yeah. Man, John Elway, the truth, man. So John Elway and Peyton Manning, when they were later in their career, the whole team changed formation to give them a running game. And it was both in Denver, actually, to give them a running game where you can pass, but it's not on you anymore. Mm-hmm. It's not totally on you to win the game no more. And they both won Super Bowls like that.
How good was Terrell Davis, man, back in the day?
That's what I'm saying, young Terrell. And he had migraines. Mm-hmm. He was playing with terrible headaches. And you go and you give John Elway Terrell Davis, and in his older years, he doesn't have to be John. He don't have to throw 40 times.
Right.
And then Peyton had a whole team. He had a running back. So Peyton went over there and did the same thing. So I just hope if we can keep doing 100 yards a game or even 80, it will help Matt Ryan out if we can get offensive line, man.
Yeah, that for sure.
Later stages of his career.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I mean. Don't get either one of us wrong, because we're not saying we're ready to move on from Matt. That's not what we're saying.
No,
we're just saying that we have just seen we don't know if it's declined. We don't know what it is, but just you can, like you said, if you have eyeballs, you can see that the last 4 or 5 weeks have just been kind of rough. Mm-hmm. I mean, just rough. I mean, not making throws he makes, making some bad decisions from time to time that you don't normally make. But then you also have to attribute it, because this is the ultimate team game, right? So you have to look at the offensive line. You got to look at the weapons. You got to think to yourself, okay, if we do show up the offensive line, or the offensive line just improves in pass blocking, if we have a true number one, not literally a 3 or a 4 as our number one,
right? Yeah.
How does this change things? Like if we have a Ridley, and then we have,
Kyle Pitts,
right?
And we gotta, Yeah,
so there's a lot of variables in that, man. So it's like,
I try not to judge him when he in a shit situation.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I'm gonna tell you how it's like. You got a girl you like or a guy you like, whatever you do, but you start you call this person at
it is 2021.
It is almost 2022. It's crazy out here. But 80, but you call at 8 o'clock. And the person, they just don't answer. They don't call you back. And they call you next day. Oh, I was asleep. You may be like, okay. Then Tuesday, you might call. They do the same shit. I was asleep. How you keep going to sleep so early? I have a headache. I ain't feel okay. But Wednesday come. Now, you can't kick them out. You don't have proof yet. But you're starting to raise some eyebrows. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't want to kick out Matt. But his behavior... it's starting to raise some eyebrows. I'm getting suspicious of his arm. I'm getting suspicious that the juice, I can't say it. I can't even say it. I'm just getting suspicious. I love Matt Ryan. I can't do it. I can't say
it. And the difference is, I mean, remember the Cowboys game, or was it the Cowboys, the Patriots, either one, whichever one that Aikman was calling, where Aikman was just defending him to the ninth. Well, yes. Okay, well, he had every right to, because he was getting killed, literally. He couldn't do anything. Now, since that game, we've improved. I mean, the offensive line has improved.
Yes.
With some of it's still not anywhere near where it should be, but he's been given more time, and things still ain't looking great. So that's what Mike's saying. It's just That's it's just, we did a little bit of concerns creeping in. That's all.
Yeah, it's concern. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just might be cheating on me. I don't know. I'm keep calling him at 8. He keeps saying he's asleep. I don't know, Matt. I don't think you was asleep for 6 days in a row, buddy.
Yeah, man. I'll just, like I said, we hope for the best. And, we against the 49ers, I mean, he's going to see another good, pretty decent defense, so we'll see what happens. I mean, I hope just for our own sake that we beat the shit out of Mike Shanahan. I mean, Kyle Shanahan, just because of our own personal vendetta against him.
Really dislike him. Yep.
Yes. But it'll be over in San Francisco. It'll be a 4:00 start next week. So if we win that one, though, buddy, it could get interesting because we are still in the playoff hunt. And if we win that one, I mean,
now I'm gonna tell you something too that brung joy to my heart. I don't know if they won today, but the Saints lost 5 in a row.
Yeah,
they are on a backslide, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it wasn't good. And I think they won. Then they did win today because the last time I saw they were up.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
And the Panthers struggling. So we got a chance to slide in them playoffs, man. And
right now, it's the third quarter right now, and the 49ers are up 17-6 on the Bengals. So
okay.
Dude, the Buccaneers are up on the Bills 24-3 in the third. It's crazy. Oh, damn. No, yeah, the Saints won big, 30-9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they on a
so looking at what we got left. So we've got like I said, the 49ers next week. We've got the Lions at home the day after Christmas. Then we go to Buffalo on January 2nd. So that could be some really shifty weather up there.
Yeah. It's gonna be snowing.
Yeah. And then the Saints come to town January 9th for the last game of the season. So yeah, I mean, if we could win 3 out of the last 4, I mean, which is I think doable. Because I think the Lions are doable. I think the Saints are doable. And I think we could take the 49ers. The Bills, you just don't know, especially in that weather, man. You just flip a coin. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But if we could win 3 out of the last 4 and finish like that, who knows, man? It may be interesting how we might stack out for the playoffs.
I said, I just want to at least 500. I don't want to have a losing season. At least 500.
Yeah, right. And we're tied with the Saints for second. I guess we were actually a game ahead since we had the win over the Saints. We have the tie. But other teams with our record, the Vikings are 6-7, and you've got the Washington football team who lost today badly to the Cowboys 6-7, Eagles 6-7. So those are teams we're going to be rooting for to lose. And the 49ers are about to go 7-6 today if they win this game against the Bills, which looks like they probably will. So that'll hurt. But who knows, man? I mean, like I said, if we make the playoffs, I mean, it'll just be more experience for these guys. If we don't, then okay. I mean, whatever.
And again, I don't care if we do or not. If we don't, we're gonna draft better.
Right.
And if we do, like John said, it's probably important that everybody on the team get just, even if you lose, but you know what it feels like to be in a playoff game and how loud it is and how you got to focus. There's
no negatives to that. With many young players, if you have, like, to them to see that type of atmosphere, I mean, that's ideal. I mean, so, but like I said, if it doesn't happen, like you said, we'll get a better draft pick and, just keep building on what we got with these guys that we have. And see, dude, this all season is going to be something else. We're going to have a lot of shows because there's going to be a lot of moving parts and a lot of, like I said, we got so many guys on 1-year contracts. We got Matt's contract. Be extended, may not be extended. We'll have the draft coming up and what direction we're going to go. So, we're not going to slow down that much. We'll have those, the shows that we do, a couple of shows lined up actually that we'll get to down the road. Not yet, but that'll be special. Trying to get to, we got a few guests lined up. That'll be cool. It'll be fun, man. But, so that pretty much covers the review of the game today. I mean, like I said, that's probably the happiest that me and Mike have been all year watching our boys.
Yeah, it really was. I love Mike Smith. It's so new to me to have a running game. I'm in awe of those dudes. And I saw the clip where he got a Walter Payton.
Yeah, Mike Davis. Yeah.
Beautiful moment. His father died of prostate cancer. My father has prostate cancer right now. That meant a lot. just the fact his father died 2 years ago, and you thought about your father in that moment. That was dope.
Very cool.
I just love him. Like, I just like that he run tough, and CP run tough. This is so new to me to have a run. I got a girlfriend and a running game and a dog. I mean, what's happening?
This is a new Mike.
This is a new experience for me. I'm loving life right now. A running game, my team, man, Mike Davis. It's just so new to me to have a running game, and to have a running game and then have Matt struggling. It's like, what is happening? I've been waiting on this all my whole life, and then you get it, and then your arm turned to linguini. Come on, Matt.
Best way you can put it.
Yeah, right. Like that should be like a jersey, and on the back I said,
yeah,
that's the Falcons then. So it's just like but I'm just so proud of the running. And again, when I say it B-, y'all off the Smith.
Yeah.
I'm a fan, buddy. Dude. That's what the shit. Like John said, John is wearing the coat. Y'all on YouTube, you can see John's shirt. That is an honor. Loving Dean Pease, loving Arthur Smith. That shit, that was them today. That was coaching.
Yep.
Matt Rule got out his ass handed to him by our coaches. Matt Rule said some dumb shit. I gotta say this. This shit was hilarious. He said, I believe that my team is playing a lot better than the score reflects. And I almost cried. Like, that was so funny, because it's like the score reflects the performance of your team spot on at all times. And you're never playing better than your score is. It's like you're never, even what do you think it's a direct reflection of how you're playing. So no, if you it's them people that be like, I'm so smart, I struggle with test taking.
Yeah, you're
stupid. You talking, what do you mean that hold on, man, you struggle on the part where we find out what you know,
right?
That's called
you're taking a class and you got a D and you're like, man, I'm so much smarter than this D.
That's D. Yes.
No, you're not.
How?
That D is that reflecting exactly what you.
It's spot on. It's the exact grade that you've earned at that point. So you're never playing higher than the grade. Yep. I don't want to hear that you take bad pictures. You're ugly. This is not, you don't, period. Like, oh, I just know you don't, you're ugly. You're an ugly person. Matt Rule said that, and I died laughing, but they're not playing better than, and PJ Walker shouldn't be a professional quarterback. I didn't see even a glimpse of, all right, okay, nothing at all. He looked like an idiot. Man, I didn't see anything. I'm like, you might as well put Cam back in, man. That dude looks horrific.
Yeah, I didn't think it really mattered who was in there. That was not going to be.
Yeah, it didn't.
Who knew that Sam Darnold would have been
the best choice
out of all three?
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm glad he didn't play.
Hey,
he might have beat us.
He could have. You never know. But yeah, man. So yeah, we'll be back on what is it? Probably Wednesday or Thursday with a preview show.
Yep.
Yeah. So before we go, we got to do our overrated, underrated.
Underrated, overrated. You know what we got to do?
Yeah.
The new segment. Now, John calls the stir last week, okay? Because I forget what I said was underrated. I said grown-up conversations was underrated. Just
Yeah.
But John caused a frenzy because John attacked an American institution. He may as well have said he hate the flag or apple pie. Like, man. John said Friends was overrated. The backlash was unreal. John, come on, man. We don't want to get canceled at the start of the podcast. This new podcast, everything is going great. So what we're going to do is every show we are going to swap it. So I did underrated last time. John did overrated. Mm-hmm. This week, John is going to do underrated and I'll do overrated. Johnny Yates, what do you believe is underrated?
Well, I didn't know. I thought this was underrated until today, as a matter of fact. So coaches wearing sunglasses on the sideline.
Okay.
Why is that? Smith at the end of the game, man. Arthur Smith is rocking those sunglasses.
Yes.
I took a picture and tweeted it when we won the game. I'm like, man, you need to wear these.
Must be the shade.
Must be the shade. Walking around like a badass on the sideline.
Yeah. It did look badass. It did look
underrated.
Badass.
Coaches wearing sunglasses.
Underrated. Coaches wearing, so that's a good one. I'm hoping he wear them in San Francisco.
Damn right.
Now, are we playing
keep
them?
growing out the beard.
Yes, and keep growing out the beard.
Yeah.
My overrated. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all this. This is kind of funny, but kind of serious. My overrated one is food, and I'm gonna tell you why.
You say food?
Food, because I'm gonna tell you why. The taste of food. Because here's why I'm saying. Too many people, to me, are having avoidable illness because you can't control the shit you put in your mouth. Right.
Okay, I will.
Now, I want to tell y'all something. I'm a vegan, but man, vegans are the most annoying group of people that you ever met in your life. So I'm not that type of vegan. I don't care about the animals and all that. I could care less. What I just do it because of how it makes me feel. If I eat meat sometimes and all that stuff, I have stomach problems, so I have to. But I seen I'm starting to get at an age where I'm saying my friend's parents died. I just had one a few days ago, and I wouldn't harp on that. You don't want to add on to that, but some of the stuff is like where you can't eat KFC and Zaxby's and Popeyes and Wendy's and McDonald's and cookies and soda, chips and pies all the time here's what I'm saying. You can't eat strictly for taste. You feel me?
Oh,
it kind of be some, am I getting vegetables? And it have to be functional. Like, am I getting the stuff that's going to help my body function and my digestive system? And there's no need for you guys, and we're all going to get old. You want to be that guy that girl who's old that can walk around and still play catch with the kids and still can go up steps. You don't want to be that person in like the back room at your mom's house that they are you hot, you cold, you want some water, you need a blanket. You don't want to be that. And you have a big impact on the way you age, on the way you look, on the way you feel by the shit you put in your mouth. So I'm gonna tell you, I hate people who say, man, vegan stuff is like just as good as shit. Vegan shit is not as good as the regular shit. That shit, it does not taste like chicken wings. It don't. Now it's some good stuff. You got to go to Slutty Vegan, all those in Georgia. Slutty Vegan is amazing. It's some good stuff, but some of this shit, it does taste different. It tastes worse. Okay, but you can. There are some times I eat meat. I'm not totally at that, but you can't kill you. Yeah. There's sometimes I have some cookies. I have a pie every once in a while. I have pizza. When my girlfriend comes, she's not vegan. She eats shit that I eat sometimes just because she got it. That's fine with sporadic. Sporadic. You can have anything sporadically, but don't abuse yourself to the point where you're in the hospital or you on pills for the rest of your life, or you're dying early. There's too many people in the graveyard for like French fries and like egg McMuffins. Do not be telling your children bye because you like egg McMuffins from McDonald's. That's not a good reason to be leaving your family. All right. So that's overrated. I know that shit tastes good, but try to balance this shit. I know it's holiday season. Balance that shit out. It's overrated. You don't want to be bloated and fat.
Man, I didn't know where you were going to go with that when you said food.
Yeah.
But man, I couldn't agree more, dude. And I could talk about this. This could be an entire show for me because.
And he's really on the shit too. I know, because a whole lot of the shit I learned came from John. He's a personal trainer. So go, John.
No, well, I mean, and look, my whole background is in exercise science. That's why I went to Georgia State with, and graduated from Georgia State with. And so it's always been an important thing for me. And I mean, when I trained, and I don't personal train anymore, but when I did, I can't tell you how many people came to me at 40, 45, 50 years old because their doctor made them, not because they were there because they wanted to be, because the doctor said, your cholesterol is out of damn control. You're gonna, if you don't start doing something now, it's going to cut 10 years off your life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And by that time, and what's even worse is those folks that were in that position, they would come to me. We would go through one or two workouts. I explained to them the process and everything. Because man, if there's any personal trainers out there, it's y'all know it's not about just the physical in the gym. Like you become a psychologist, you become their
Yep.
best friend, you become like so important to their
A life coach.
Seriously. I mean, it's all of that stuff. So for me, when I trained, I tried to find things that people enjoyed doing in the gym. Like if they hated it, then they're not going to come back. So I would try to find things that they enjoyed, you know. And it could be out in the racquetball courts throwing shit around, as long as they were moving and burning calories. I mean, whatever they had to do to come back. But man, so many people didn't come back. They'd have that first session and they'd be like, man, this is too hard. And then they would never come back again. And it just blew my mind. Like, I don't, like you said, I mean, now, and you know, I've got a kid now, and it's like, why would you do that to yourself? And I'm not going to even start on the whole COVID mess, but in the middle of a pandemic, when you have something that's attacking people that are overweight and not healthy, worse than others. Not
way
saying it
worse.
doesn't happen, but but it does. But you know, man, I mean, like, there's no better time than like now to start eating better and taking care of yourself, man. Working out, walking, just movement,
just
man.
Man, you ought to see, if y'all don't think, man, go see the stats of the of like the death rate. The people who had that were alive were people that was in great health. A great portion of the people who had COVID and died were overweight.
Right.
So that's, man, if you was healthy, you probably could shake it off. If you weren't, you probably had some difficulties there. But like I said, I'm not sitting here saying that the shit ain't good. I love cookies, just like I love pizza and cookies, just like the next man. What I'm telling you is you can't live for that shit to the point where it's causing you to have health. But I know people who told me that they have struggled, they struggle to use the bathroom once a day. You can't be eating that. I bet if you put vegetables in your system, and you drink more water, you know, then maybe it would be, but you got cheese and milk and bread in your bowels and meat, just leftover rotting meat. And so all I'm telling y'all is, balance it out. Have your snacks and have your things, but you shouldn't be drinking sodas every day and cookies every day. And you don't got to put that much damn sugar in your coffee. You know, it's not ice cream. It's coffee. It's there to wake you up. Yeah, can I get a latte with some cookies and cream and a rocky road? That's not coffee anymore. And that was an ice cream float. Exactly. So you just I just don't want to see. A good friend of mine just lost his dad for something that was completely avoidable. And the week before that, a friend of mine lost a parent, something that was completely avoidable. But you can't, when it's past a certain point of habit, it's too late to turn it around. It's already affected. You have diabetes, or you're on dialysis, and they both were. I had one on dialysis, one was on diabetes. That come from years of bad food choices. Right.
Yeah, the excuse I always got from people when they came to train or to meet to talk about training was, well, I just don't have time. I'm too busy. And my response was always, well, how much TV do you watch during the week? I mean, tell me how many shows do you watch? So if you cut out, I don't know, an episode or two a week, to tell me you can't, like, how important is it to you then? Like, that's what you're telling me. It's not, your health is not as important to you as maybe, and I understood, dude, I'm busy as shit. Like,
yes, we all are. Yep.
And I mean, but you have got to, if you don't make time, like, and like you have to make the time. Like, there's a time in the day I say, fuck work, I'm done. I'm not doing a damn thing. And I'm going to work out now. For an hour or whatever it is. And it's, if you haven't done it in a while, it sucks to start. And because you get, it's just, your body's like, oh damn, here we go. But man, once you get 7, 8, 9, 10 days into it, it just becomes more routine. It becomes used to it, and you start feeling so much better. You just start feeling,
sleep better, and your sex goes through the roof. If y'all want to improve sex, hell with these books and the videos. Take your ass to the gym. Really, if girl or guy, if your sex thing ain't where you needed to be, fuck a coach and all this Kama Sutra, get your ass in fucking LA Fitness. I guarantee you that your cardio is gonna go through your sex game is gonna be the first thing that you see change. I'm gonna tell you this shit too. A lot of people tell me it's not the time thing, man. It's expensive to be a vegan. You gotta get all them vegetables or organic. Man, you gonna pay the grocery store, or your ass gonna pay the doctor, but your ass is paying somebody. So just pay the grocery store, and it's about the same price as the shit you eat out the grocery. You know how much a banana costs? It's not that much. Like, would you cut it out? Like, cut it out. And when you go, a lot of that food that you get, that's in the package already. I heard this dude say it best. It's not even food. It's food-like product. It's not even real food. It just made that in the lab. It smelled like cheese. It looked like meat. It's not either or. Don't put that shit into your body. If you do, just like I said, balance it out. There's no reason, man. If you guys are on YouTube, you can see John, you can see me. Man, I look amazing. John looks amazing. Man, we took care of ourselves. There's people who our age who look fucked up, who look really fucking bad, stomach out to here, just, you could tell, just abuse yourself with alcohol. And ain't nothing wrong with drugs either. Just don't go overboard with the drugs. You know what I'm saying? Just, it ain't no wrong with a beer, some alcohol, some weed, whatever. Just don't go to the tilt where you look like you use it.
Yeah, man.
It's just on your face that you use it. Chill out.
Yeah, no, I mean, we eat burgers, we eat wings, we we eat all those bad things, but not every day. Abuse it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not every day. Balance the shit out, y'all. I don't want to see nobody it's a bad thing to see somebody suffer when they leave. I don't want to see nobody suffer, especially like you, your parents. You don't want your kids. The two people who died and they didn't even have insurance, they didn't have life, so their family in peril. You done left too early. You didn't get. Come on, y'all. For food, for fries and hamburgers.
Yep. Well,
nonsense.
On that PSA that we
PSA, that was a good one. Underrated. Oh, that was saving lives. Out of your mind, Falcon podcast. Saving lives one at a time. If I can keep one fish stick out your mouth, one honey bun, one glazed honey bun, okay? One glazed honey bun out your mouth. I feel like I did it.
Who knew Underrated, Overrated would turn into that, man? But
yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. But yeah, no, we hey guys, if you want to get in touch with us, you guys can email us at atlfalconfancast@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram on Out of Your Falcon Mind. We're on Twitter at Out of Your Effing Mind. Facebook group, if you want to join, just search for it. So a lot of different ways. You can watch us on YouTube. Listen to us on Spotify. Follow, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. If you're on iTunes, leave us a 5-star review, like so many of you have already. We'll read it out on the show, and that just increases our chances of being found by other Falcons fans. We keep moving up that list of Falcons podcasts, and we're not going to go anywhere, man. We're going to be here. So
we will be here even when the season. We will be coming at you guys with different things. I want to say this too. If you went to Georgia State, you should subscribe, because you got your guy over here who went to Georgia State. Right, I went to the University of the District of Columbia. If you from DC, you should subscribe, just because it's me. You know what I mean? That's right. So yeah, just because it's me. But also, John, I said this last week or earlier in the episode, I forget. Even if the question you want to ask doesn't always pertain to football, you can still ask it. We'll answer.
Sure. Yeah, because we don't always talk about football.
Yeah, so I mean, see how we just went off there about food. So yeah, you can ask us anything.
But like I said, man, I mean, shit, if somebody listens to that and was like, you know what, they're right, then hey, that's what a bonus to have. Yes, you know. Yes. So
your wife. Oh, thank you. Go to the gym, buddy. Trust me.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, guys, look, we appreciate y'all listening to us recap the Panthers game and talk about food and underrated, overrated, and Matt Ryan was pretty much a topic almost every show now. It seems like. Yeah. But hey, we got the win, so everybody can walk around with their chest out at least for the next 6 days. And as we get ready,
Cam can't have on that dumbass hat in the press. I said he got all them stupid ass hats, and he didn't have on a thinking cap. All them caps, and you didn't own a thinking cap. Man. That's what you get. I hate you, man. I hope you. I'm glad you lost, man.
And no better way to end it than that, buddy.
Yep.
You guys have a wonderful week, and we'll catch you on the pregame show for the 49ers. Mike.
Peace.
Yeah.